Hey guys, Super Dave here. The subject today is leverage. We're going to talk about this to help you pull money out of houses you own. You have money sitting in your properties that need to be leveraged out so you can use that money to buy more property and make yourself stronger. I'm going to teach you how to go into your properties and pull money out that's just sitting there that you can leverage and use to your advantage. So this is what you need to do. You need to look at your properties and understand how much debt you have on them. What do you owe the bank on that particular house? Then you need to look at what's the value. What is that house worth? What is an appraiser going to give you in value on that particular property? So between the two numbers, what you owe and what it's worth, that is your equity position. That's how much extra money you have. Now here is where you have to be very careful. When you go to a bank and you talk to a banker and you say, I want to refinance the house, and all you're doing is getting a new loan on the property. And during that process, you want to pull some cash out. Cash that you can use to buy more property or improve the properties you already own. So when you go to talk to your banker, you really have to be careful and look at the numbers. The first thing you want to look at is how much is my monthly payment? And if I pull some money out during that process of getting a new loan, will that monthly payment go up? I try my best to keep that number where it is or even bring it down if I can. So what you have to do is keep an eye on the market and you look for the interest rates to go down. Whenever there's a drop in rates, that's when you need to strike. That's when you need to go meet with your banker and say, on this particular house, I have an equity position. I want to get a new loan on the house. And when I go to the closing table, I want to pull some cash out. It's called a refi cash out. So that's the beauty of what I'm trying to teach you here. Going into a house and pulling that money out and then being smart and disciplined and using that money to buy more or to improve your current properties. So once you've contacted your banker and you agree to do the refinance cash out, the first thing the bank is going to do is reach out to an appraisal company. And an appraiser is going to come to your house and do a formal appraisal and tell you what your value is. Now this appointment is very important and I want to talk you through it. So when the appraiser comes to the house, a couple things you need to do. You need to get there a couple days before he or she shows up. You need to make sure the outside of the house is picked up. You need to make sure there's no glaring repairs or anything weird about the house. So you're going to walk around the outside of the house, you're going to walk in the house and make sure it's clean and organized to the best of your ability. And then you need to make sure when the appraiser shows up that day, you get there 30 minutes before they do. Turn all the lights on in the house. Make sure all the doors are unlocked, make sure the place looks good, and be prepared when that appraiser shows up. Because what you're getting is value on your property and you want the highest value as possible. So my rule of thumb is whatever I think the value of the property is, I add 10 to 15% to that number. So when the appraiser shows up, it's real important to not follow he or she around. Don't be too anxious. Be in a more laid back mode. Let them come in the house, leave them alone. But before you leave the property and you let them do their appraisal, you need to say the number. Say the number that you want that house to appraise for. This is very important. Appraisers are listening and trying to find value on a property. And I know they're not going to appraise it for what you say because you're the owner of the property. But if they hear a number, that sticks in their head. You said a number that you think the value of the property is, and there's nothing wrong with verbalizing that. So make sure you're there, make sure the house looks good, and make sure you say a number that makes your refi cash out work and verbalize it with the appraiser. Now before you can get this equity and do this leverage move, you need to make sure you've owned the house for a while and you've done some added value to the property. So when you buy a rental property, the most important thing in rentals is bedrooms. So you're always looking at an area where you can add a new bedroom, or if you can't and the house is too tight, you're looking for a place where you can improve the kitchens or the bathrooms. Those are going to add a lot of value to the property, because the whole goal here is to buy a property, get a loan from the bank, give it a little time, give it a little love, make the house better, and once it's seasoned, that means you've had it for a while and it's grown in value, your equity position gets bigger and bigger. So remember, wait till you have good equity position, wait till the interest rates are low, then you're ready to go meet with your banker and leverage your property and pull that money out. And always remember to be disciplined and smart when you get that money. You can't just go out and blow it, and then that defeats the whole purpose. The advantage of leverage is to increase your earnings. And how do you increase earnings? You go out and buy another property. You buy another rental property with cash you pulled out of a property you already own. That's how you can scale up. In my career, I've had 2 moves that helped me get bigger and bigger over time. I used the leverage position in properties I already owned. I would pull cash out and buy more, or I would try really hard to do no money down deals. And those 2 maneuvers have really helped me scale up, because I've moved up to 53 houses, apartment buildings, commercial properties over a 30-year period. And I would not be able to scale up that big without having a couple tools in my bag to know how to do a no money down deal, know how to leverage my properties and pull cash out so I can buy more. So remember, if you own rental properties, 1 or 50 like I do, always remember that you have hidden wealth within your houses. You have money just sitting there. Don't let it just sit. Make your money work for you. Go in, leverage yourself, pull the money out and grow and scale up and get bigger and bigger. That's the game here. It's like the Monopoly board. You're trying to buy as much property as possible within your means so you can create as much cash flow as possible and as much equity as possible. Okay guys, thank you for your time. I hope this was helpful. Subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. Hit the notification bell if you want to know when my next video is hitting, and give me the thumbs up if you like what you heard. Let me hear your comments, let me respond to them, and remember, in your day, do the most productive thing every moment of every day.